Hi, it's Caitlin, and I have a swatch extravaganza for you of Kathleen Co nail polishes. I know all of you love Kathleen Co so much. It was probably back in the summer when Mia released a Nightmare Before Christmas and like a whole bunch of Tim Burton inspired nail polishes. Everybody lost their minds for those. I have a feeling we're gonna have a lot of strong reactions to all the beautiful stuff you're about to see. So there's actually 3 distinct collections that I'm going to be showing off. This is hence the plaid. It is a 90s alternative rock inspired collection, and I'm absolutely loving the vibes of everything. I also have a set of 4 multichromes and a set of 4 polishes, which are the holiday collection. So I don't right now, as of filming this video, have the exact details of what the sale will be and the exact dates for Black Friday, but I will include that down in the description. So check the description, please, for the Black Friday and release detail. And I've said a lot, so let's get into the swatches.
We'll start by looking at the winter collection, and first up is Fade Into You. This polish is described as a pale pink base loaded with hollow microflake, hollow pigment, and a green to purple to pink shifting shimmer. It's inspired by the song Fade Into You by Mazzy Star, which will probably be on playlists of mine until I die. It's just such an iconic song, and this polish is such a beautiful, beautiful pink. The formula is absolutely fantastic. You could leave it in 2 coats if you have shorter nails like me, but you will likely get opacity in 3 coats. It does dry quite shiny, but I will still be applying top coat, and the shimmer in here is really beautiful. It doesn't slap you in the face. It just perfectly integrates with the base color, and of course the hollow microflake and hollow pigment adds a beautiful little twinkle. Moving along, we have Linger, and this is a gorgeous smoky hollow base with glowy shimmer that shifts through a rainbow of colors. It's of course based on the song by the Cranberries, which is another iconic song. Mia's inspiration and musical taste is on point, and so is this particular polish. I am really impressed by the level of hollow in here, as well as the color shifts. There's pretty much every color of the rainbow, as the description says, and the hollow is truly blinding. It's quite linear, and you will notice that the polish is also opaque in 2 coats. Now, a really big tragedy is that there was no sun when I was swatching this. It was out, and then I kept it on my nails for like an hour, and I only really got clouds. But anyway, hopefully you will just trust me when I say that the hollow in this is truly spectacular. The shifts alone are worth the price of admission, even if there wasn't hollow. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous polish. And yeah, there was minimal sunlight, so I just kind of kept moving around in the house to show off the shifts and the sparkle. Now we're going to look at Hated Because of Great Qualities, which is based on a song by Blonde Redhead. This one is a blackened violet base loaded with hollow and fuchsia magnetic shimmer. it looks good worn either magnetized or unmagnetized, so I will show it each of those ways, as well as with two different magnet styles, which you will see here, my reminder popping up. This is with the velvet style. The magnetic pigment is quite reactive, and here on my index I am applying it with a cat eye magnet. The opacity here was really beautiful in two coats. Such a beautiful purple. Honestly, I love this. It's so regal and royal. It kind of reminds me of like, what's the alcohol, Crown Royal, that comes in the velvet bag? That's what this color reminds me of, and I absolutely love it. Yeah, I just love this purple. And when you see my 4-finger shot, the pinky is unmagnetized. Next up we have I Still Do, and this one is a purple base with intense red to orange shimmer, and it's inspired by a song by the Cranberries as well. This one is such a gorgeous and intense shimmer. It really builds up beautifully, and it builds up best in 3 coats. I talk about it every time I review Kathleen Co, but it bears repeating that the brush Kathleen Co uses with their nail polish is one of the best brushes I've ever used. It has the perfect density, the perfect shape and spread of the brush, and the cap is like a rubberized cap, so it's easy to grip onto, makes application a breeze, and really hugs your cuticle area. So it's just a phenomenal brand, and Mia is like a certified nail tech, so she knows what she's doing. She's a pro at making polish and just an absolute creative genius. So you can see here just how gorgeous and shifty this is. It's really fiery and looks like it's lit from within. Frozen is inspired by the song Frozen by Madonna, which I love so much. It's described as a very pale base with icy aqua to blue purple shimmer. It has hollow as well as reflective micro glitters, and it is just so beautiful. As you can see, it's very ethereal, very sparkly, and very shifty. Perfect for the inspiration, perfect for winter, and the formula is also perfect. Because of the reflective and hollow glitter, it does dry down with texture, but top coat, just a single layer, smoothed it out for me, and the removal was not difficult. Just a tiny bit of scrubbing, more than say a shimmer or a cream, but definitely not a full painstaking removal with a typical glitter. this polish manages to look absolutely icy. It's just perfectly done, and I love the shimmer and the sparkle together. It's really unique. I honestly don't have anything like this in my collection, and it's just super glowy, as you can see here. We are now looking at The Mystic's Dream, which is based on a song by Lorena McKinnett, who I also grew up listening to. Her music actually kind of scared me as a kid because it was just so like intense, and I'm very easily moved by music, so it kind of was like a little too much for me at times. But anyway, I love this color. It's a blackened emerald base loaded with hollow flakes, purple shimmer, and fuchsia microflake shimmer. You will notice that this one builds up quite nicely in 2 coats. I love the hollow microflake in here, and I love the contrast of the base with the shimmer. It's just very wintry and very Lorena McKinnett, like it's just giving that whole vibe perfectly. And you will notice that it definitely benefits from a layer of top coat. Next up, we're looking at Mysterons, and this one is inspired by a song by Portishead, and it's a deep red base loaded with a green to purple to red shimmer. This one blew me out of the water. The shifts in here are kind of unreal, and you definitely don't get the full picture until you build it up in 3 coats, which I will do. And the formula again is silky smooth. The Kathleen Co formula is truly one of my favorites. It's consistently flawless, and I just absolutely treasure all of my Kathleen Co polishes because I love everything they make. And you can see here in 3 coats, this one is just rich and absolutely divine. It also dries very, very glossy, but of course, I'm still going to apply top coat, and I'm just itching for you to see how shifty this one is. Moving along, we have Darkening of the Light, which is inspired by a song by Concrete Blonde, and it's a deep violet with very bright fuchsia shimmer. We have another instant classic here with this polish. The formula is absolutely stunning once again. It has a really, really glowy, lit from within kind of look to it. Again, like such a plush formula, if that makes sense. It just glides on the nail, but it also has sort of like a squishiness to it. I don't know. If you haven't tried Kathleen Co, I think now is the time. And this whole collection is just making me want to put on like a shoegaze 90s grunge playlist, which I probably will do because I love that kind of music. So again, this dries quite shiny, but I still recommend Top Coat, and holy moly, just look at that glow. Next up we have Rime of the Ancient Mariner, and this is actually the next collection. This is one of the 4 multichromes, and it's described as a bronze to green to aqua to blue multichrome. Now, just like everything we've seen to date, the formula here is stunning, but quite honestly, I've tried a lot of multichromes in the over 10 years I have been deep into the nail polish world, and these are probably the best multichromes I have ever owned, purchased, swatched, you name it. Truly, absolutely stunning. Like, you'll have to pry these out of my cold dead hands because they are phenomenal. And I did put top coat on all of these. I just didn't show you because I think maybe by this point I've swatched about 100 polishes in, we'll say, 72 hours. So I had to cut some corners somewhere, and not showing me top coating was one of them. But there is top coat on these. Next up is Rock and Roll. This one is a reddish orange to emerald multichrome. And if I was, wow, there's a lot of noise happening here in the background. Apologies for that. If I was pressed to choose my favorite of all the multichromes, Rock and Roll might be the one I choose. I'm going to tell you to get them all, but if you could only get one, I would recommend Rock and Roll, just because I felt like it truly had every color of the rainbow in it. And it's also just like mind-blowing, truly mind-blowing, and just absolutely stunning. And again, these are all opaque in 2 coats for me, so just absolutely phenomenal formulas. Next up we have Colors Take Me Away, and this one is a super shifty violet, purple, pink, red, gold, green. This one shifts through so many colors, and Mia, who is the creator of Kathleen Co, said that this is her favorite of the bunch. So, you know, between this one and Rock and Roll, those are definitely the top contenders here. So depending on how thick or thin you go with your coats, you might need a third. I mean, to my eyes, this was probably good in 2, but there must have been a reason why I went with 3. But you can just see that third coat deepens it up a teeny tiny bit more. And in the sun, these multichromes, they almost look like they have a sparkle to them, but they're just so intense with the multichrome pigment, that they look like they're sparkling on the nail. Like, I just can't get over how beautiful they are. And last but not least, we have Caught Somewhere in Time, which is a fuchsia gold green multichrome. Now at the end of my video, I do have a photo of all four, so you can see how they look side by side if anyone is curious, but they're all unique and different in their shifts, and if you can, grab them all, and if you like multichromes, trust me, I would love for anyone to argue with me that these are not the best multichromes they've ever experienced. So this one I did end up doing 3 coats, and yeah, this one probably does benefit for 3 coats unless you apply 2 thick coats, but I don't recommend that. I always think it's better to work in thinner coats so you're not getting anything like gloopy. Yeah, thin coats are always the way to go. And last but not least, we're going to look at the holiday collection, which is another 4-piece. We have Alligator Sleigh, and this one is a blackened emerald with a glowy green shimmer. And I'm assuming the inspiration for this collection is like Christmas in New Orleans, which is where Kathleen Co is based. And this is such a beautiful green. It's elegant, it's glowy. It's not overly shifty, it just is super, super glowy and truly beautiful. Again, I did apply top coat, so here it is in 2 coats plus top coat. And now the quintessential Christmas red is Holiday Streetcar, which is a vibrant red with a glowy red microflake. On first coat, this one looks like a bit pinky, but when you build it up in 2 to 3 coats, it creates the most vibrant, glowy, stunning red ever. This is definitely a contender for one of my new favorite reds. It's just so beautiful. It looks like candy on the nail. And I will recommend 3 coats for this one just because it does have a bit of a jelly finish, and I think it's best in 3. And now for one of my favorite polishes that I swatched for this entire video, Crescent City Lights, which is a clear base with a shifty gold, pink, green shimmer. This one is absolutely perfect in my opinion. I love how sparkly it is from the shimmer, and I love the color shifts. It's got a really luminous iridescent vibe to it, and on me and my skin tone, it's just super wearable. And in 3 coats, it also builds up substantially enough to obscure any visible nail line, but if your nails are longer than mine, you're likely to need maybe a visible nail line blurring base coat, or maybe you want to layer this over something like a peach. Totally your call, but I obviously love it on me in 3 coats plus top coat. And last but certainly not least, we have Under a Holiday Moon. This one is a dark base with a blue shimmer, silver magnetic, and a light dusting of hollow. On my index finger, I will apply the magnet in a cat eye style, and then I'm using one of those 3D printed velvet horseshoe magnet things. Mine's from Phoenix Indie Polish, and that's obviously going to give you a totally different look and vibe. So what I love about magnetics is that you can kind of just choose your own adventure, and this one does of course look phenomenal even if you don't apply a magnet at all. And you will see that it has great opacity in 2 coats. I think that the addition of hollow just makes this extra special, and this really looks like a cold, clear, crisp Christmas night, which I think is really beautiful and very special, and a perfect way to round out this video. This does dry super glossy, but I'm always going to finish it off with top coat. And for anyone who's not a fan of magnetic nail polishes, you don't have to wear it as a magnetic, and you can see it on my pinky finger, just applied in 2 coats out of the bottle. It's still super beautiful.
The winter collection is just so much fun. There's so much different and cool finishes. I love all the inspiration. I know Mia is like a punk rocker through and through, so I love what she did with this collection. My favorites are, so Mysterons is just so shifty and beautiful. It is like a full, almost like hot magenta at extreme angles, and I was absolutely mesmerized for the entire time this was on my nails. I also really love Frozen because it's just really unique and beautiful, but it's also based on the song Frozen by Madonna, which it will always be like one of my favorite songs. No, not one of my favorite songs, but one of my, like, it's like a song that will always transport me to a time and a place. yeah, probably in my mom's car listening to that CD because my mom loved Madonna and kind of raised me on it. So love the interpretation of this polish. And of course, Linger is so pretty and shifty and holographic. I absolutely love it. I am devastated that there was no sunshine when I swatched it, but trust me when I say this one will practically blind you in the sun. Okay, so we need to talk about the multichromes and how you just need all of them. If you appreciate intense color shifts, beautiful formulas, and really pretty colors, just get them all. They're gonna be on sale during the Black Friday sale. Just get them all because they are all 100% perfect, 200% perfect, like truly some of my favorite polishes ever now. And from the holiday little collection, I obviously am obsessed with Crescent City Lights because it's so light and ethereal and shifty, and you know, I could just wear that kind of color forever, but it's honestly pretty unique. I don't have anything with that exact base with those color shifts. So bonus points for uniqueness. All right, that was pretty exciting. Not gonna lie, I like screamed a little bit when I opened the box with these polishes because I was so excited. They did not disappoint on the nail, and hopefully you feel the same. So again, when I get the details about the Black Friday sale, I'll include them in the description or pin them in a comment, something like that. But yeah, let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And I guess I will wish you a happy day wherever you are. And hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye.